So,
Let's get it.
Mike, what's the
Oh,
deal?
we back. What's good? What is
Yo,
good?
what's
How
up?
you doing tonight?
Shit,
Good.
running,
Welcome to
nigga.
that old heads podcast with three dope ass niggas talking about everything in the hip hop community, so on and so forth. I'm one of the
Mm-hmm.
three. My name is Will. Body shot your shit
Word,
out.
word. This is Sam.
We're Mike in the house.
All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing today?
Mike, what the hell are you eating?
Oh, some potato chip.
It be like that, right?
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, let's just jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I really think you guys is bugging,
Oh no, we're
bugging
not.
out. Yeah, okay. You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, from my understanding, me being the only cat from Brooklyn on the panel, nothing against AZ, but the conversation came up, is AZ one of the top five out of Brooklyn? Not even hip hop, just out of Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm gonna beg to differ. I'm gonna say no, he's not.
Why?
Definitely not. Why I
Why?
say he's not?
Why?
To me, he's like the Brooklyn Nas. Let's just say that.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that, to me, if he didn't have a sound like him and he wasn't like him, first of all, I feel like it's five better rappers that's out of Brooklyn.
Yeah,
My
but
opinion.
why, why it gotta be why it gotta be a top five though? Why it can't be what? I mean, the top five conversation. Reason why I don't really get into it because there's really no criteria to it. But if you put criteria to it, a lot of people ain't gonna make a top five. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that's
If you put longevity, if you're gonna put our catalog into it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people not gonna make it, including some cats like Big. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know that Big had the potential to be great, which he was on his way to being great, but how could I put? How can I say Big was better than AZ? AZ got more albums and still putting out albums to this day.
I
that's
ain't gonna
true.
go that far. Yeah, true, but I ain't gonna go that far.
Huh?
But big, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, you said it, you're not gonna go that far. I mean, what did I say that you had a discrepancy with?
Well, hold on. I was having a conversation with my mother just now, but you was saying so you basically say he was better than AZ was better than Big, or what was?
I said if you a top five can go anywhere. What I'm saying, like a lot of people, like I said last time, a lot of people got Andre 3000 in the top five. That nigga ain't in no top five of nothing, as far as I'm concerned, because he don't have albums. Now, if it was a top five without a criteria, meaning that we just talking about spitting, hell yeah, he might be in the top five. That's why what makes
Mm-hmm.
the top five conversation so big. I mean, so crazy. Now, what I'm saying is, when it comes to like putting a criteria, Big, when you talking about longevity and catalog, he doesn't have that.
Yeah,
How can I
yeah,
put?
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? How can I put? Let's say Big over AZ, even though we know that Big would, if Big was living to this day, he'd still be doing some of the stuff that Jay and Nas is doing and others that are great.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure of that. But right now, as we sit here today, he don't have enough material. He gets an honorable mention to me, even though we know that Big was that nigga. As far as King of New York, I don't see nobody else in that situation but Big, even though we had other people that sat in that throne. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
got you, got you. I'm
Well,
with you on that one.
the only reason we say top five, because that's what the question, Sam posed the question: is he in your top five out of Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? Me personally, he's not even in my. He might be 10.
No. Oh wow.
He might be 10.
Okay.
He might be 10.
I mean,
So
at least
who
he
you
made
got?
the top 10.
What three? What? Right.
So what you trying to say?
At least he made the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and he's stretching it. He's stretching it.
So
Like
you
saying,
got most
go
depth
ahead,
over
say.
AZ. So you
Oh,
got
shit.
AZ. So you got most depth over AZ, right?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I had to think about it, and something just hit me. Right?
Like
I got Buster before them, even though Buster's from Long Island, I believe, some shit like that. But
I don't know.
No, I think Buster's from Brooklyn.
I think he is from Brooklyn. I
Yeah.
know he went to school in Brooklyn.
No, he's from Brooklyn. I think he's like a transplant or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for me, I already said, I get what you're saying about Big and the material or whatever, but yeah, Big gotta get that. I gotta put Big in that 3. Definitely Jay. And I'm gonna go Fab. I'm gonna go Fab at number 3. So I'm gonna say AZ. Yeah, AZ's in my 10. He might be 9 or 10.
Who else you got over him?
Say what?
I just want to know who else you got over him though. Like be for real. Like
Who I got higher than him?
yeah.
I give Buster 4. I give Buster 4. Wow, because I just had this list in my head. I didn't even jot it down. Because I did put in Most Def, Talib. Wait a second. Damn, my phone. Oh no, my phone is on me. Because I did put, yeah, buddy. I did put that up. And let me see. Who did I say? And I was like, yo, nah. I gotta get that. Let's see. Did I put it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to like really go in this.
I mean, is there a particular order? Like, because
Yeah.
I remember when we was talking about it, I said between 5 and 8 was like debatable or whatever. So whoever I put in that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, matter of fact, okay, because I remember saying Sauce Money. I remember saying Buckshot, Kane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember that.
So wait a minute. You got Buckshot over AZ.
That's debatable. I'm gonna say that's debatable. That ain't
debatable though.
I'm gonna tell you something. The way I look at it is, I'm looking at what you say, what an MC is, right? I'm gonna say like this. When I'm listening as a 42-year-old man, and I'm listening to AZ now. I'm like, all right, it's cool. But then I listen to some of that Buckshot and then some of that, and I'm like, wow, like, yo, this shit is, for me, it's just my opinion though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I might have to, but that's me being a little biased too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But AZ, man, like he's in my top 3. I gotta say Biggie, Jay,
and then AZ over Fab.
Yeah. So what AZ did on Nas Illmatic album, though, that's still in my head, bro. Like that's one of the illest verses, bro. Like Fab got some killer verses, but he ain't got nothing dealing with that verse. And his longevity about this stuff too.
Ooh.
AZ just now dropped something.
I seen that
last week.
I got a question.
And Fab is my dude. But no. Well, no.
I got a question for you then. If AZ ain't on that verse, are we even talking about AZ?
Yeah, yeah.
That's his demo. He's not on that verse. Are we even talking about AZ?
Bro, Sugar Hill was dope. AZ was dope. Like he had some bangers, but with that album, you know what I'm saying, that verses took him up there.
You know,
He would
you
have
do
known.
know, you do know Sugar Hill was a gimmick, right?
It could be a gimmick, but
It's a dope
that
song.
was my joint though.
It's a dope song, but you do know it's a gimmick.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what you mean? Explain that to me.
A gimmick because the song ain't about him. The song is about AZ from Harlem, Sugar Hill, Harlem. Like,
right? Okay.
In the era of, I guess you say, being real, and that's another topic for another show. He's rapping about something that he didn't live.
I mean, 90% of the rappers is rapping about something they didn't live.
Which is
Right.
true. Which is true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can say that because he threw that out there and I knew it was coming.
Well,
Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. AZ is dope. Don't get me wrong. I just think that we're not even talking about him if he's not on that verse.
If he's not on that verse, would we be talking about AZ? If he's not on that verse, I do think so. I think that verse was the catalyst of checking out AZ. But if AZ wasn't on that verse and AZ still had the same catalog, yeah, we'd be talking about it. I definitely think so.
Talking about him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I wish another Brooklyn MC that I didn't see on the list, but I think his career was a little short. Smooth the Hustler. Smooth the Hustler, nobody talks about him, but he was dope as hell. And his brother Trigger was just as dope.
Yeah.
But would you put him? You wouldn't put him above AZ. What about J. Rue the Damager?
J. Rue the Damager above AZ. Nah, I wouldn't put Jay-Z J. Rue above AZ.
Even lyrically, you wouldn't put him above AZ.
Nah.
Okay.
Come clean, though.
Come clean was that shit, but I think Come Clean. Yo, J. Rule's first and second album, I got those on my phone still to this day. You know what I'm saying? The third album was dope too. But what happened with J. Rule is him and Premier. I still didn't get down to the bottom of what happened with him and Premier. But after he split with Premier, I didn't really check for him too much.
Yeah.
And it because he had a gap in the album. You know what I'm saying? Gap in the album when it was like it came out in 94, then in 96. And then after that, you didn't hear from J. Rule too much after that.
Yeah.
But as far as AZ, he consistently put out albums throughout his career into this last gap. And I'm glad to see him get over that last gap because he's very underrated. But he had a gap. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy big. But in that time he was because in that time that from the first Do or Die up until like Undeniable, up into Asiatic, up into all of those albums. All of those albums were pretty dope. Guns and Diamonds and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. He did his thing throughout his career. And then he kind of slacked off. But that's the thing about, you're going to have periods. If you're going to have a period in hip hop where you're putting out albums, you got to continue to put out records. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it's going to be like, damn, it's going hard to get back into the studio.
Okay.
And get back on that grind. So AZ for me, he's a top MC, he's a top tier New York MC, top Brooklyn MC to me.
Even without a classic album.
I mean,
do you feel like he has a classic?
Do I feel like he has? That's a good question. Do I feel like he has a classic album? Do I feel like AZ has a classic album? Do I feel like AZ has a classic?
Let me bring this. He got a good albums. He got good albums, but classic, no. But real good albums. But see, you think about it is when you come to albums, is you coming by album sales or you just coming like a bar for bar, like how we listen?
Yo, listen,
I don't even go by the album sale crap.
Nah. We just the streets know when somebody got a classic.
Yeah.
I mean,
we know.
I mean,
how many mics you give his first album?
His first album,
3.5, 4?
I say 4.
Mm-hmm.
I see, and you know what? I'm gonna go with the 3.5, 4.
I'm going with 3.5.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that rating.
You go with 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Big got a classic, Jay got a classic, we talk about Fab's mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Kane's second album is tough.
Yeah, his first three is tough.
It's tough,
right?
Yeah.
Like I can't put him in that 5. Only like I don't know, man. He's dope, but it's something a little lacking for me.
But what I'm saying is, Kane, long live the Kane. What was the name of the second? It's a Big Daddy thing, and Tasted Chocolate was all dope albums, maybe even classic albums up in there. But after that, what does Kane have?
You're right.
I
mean, then he came back with after. Matter of fact, what was it? It was Long Live the Kane. It was Long Live the Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. Taste the Chocolate, and then it was It Looks Like a Job for Kane. That album wasn't bad at all. You know what I'm saying? That came out in like 93, 94, something like that. But after that, what does he have? I didn't even get it. Matter of fact, and we forgetting Prince of Darkness, right? Matter of fact, Prince of Darkness came after, if I'm not mistaken. Prince of Darkness came after Taste of Chocolate, and then he came back with It's a Big Daddy thing. So after that, what does he have? He had a career like from 88 until like 94. That's 6 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Which, and to be fair, that was the typical, 4 to 5 years in hip hop at the beginning, like that. Around that time was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? But longevity wise, AZ, when it comes to where did he rank in out of Brooklyn MCs? I think he's up there.
So let's get back to this. What classic album Fab got?
To me, my opinion, Young OG,
classic.
I say it's a classic.
Which one?
Young OG.
Young OG, because y'all got to put me on to some Fab, because he's one cat that I never really dug. But I tell you what, though. Tell you what, though, when I do get into it, cause listen, I can't speak on Fab because I don't know his material like that. And that's kind of like a shame. But here's the thing. If Jadakiss decided to do an album with the nigga got to be nice.
Yo.
Go start off with Soul Tape, though.
Soul Tape. Yeah. All 3 of them joints is like classic, Yeah.
Right.
So you remember the last show we was talking about the growth, right? Fab hit a point early in his career where he could make songs for the ladies. He could make commercial joints, but his elevation is kind of like what Method Man said about him on Math Hoffa. Who knew Fab was going to go that far, go to that level?
Yeah.
Honestly, as a person that didn't catch on to the Fab thing, I kind of knew that the nigga was going to do something because he had the ability to, like you say, make those radio songs and do street shit. I'm just keeping it real. And I don't know his material like that, but it was something about him that I was like, you know what, homie, this dude is kind of ill. But I never just gravitated towards his material. I don't know why.
I'll tell you like this. He hasn't had that In My Lifetime Volume 2 classic or that, you know, Life After Death or Ready to Die classic. But off a bar, yeah, he's up there. For me, he's up there. Really, because what he's doing now. The nigga really could take Brooklyn if he wanted to now.
Yeah, definitely.
He could take it now. But he got
Yo, hold up. There's so many people we forgetting about. We forgetting about Papoose.
I'm gonna say the material. For me, he don't got the material.
You gotta look at that Nasarima Dream. Papoose is nice, bro.
He's nice.
He's nice. Yeah.
But again, his material, he don't have a lot of material like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he don't have the material. And like I said, I would even say between Busta and Fab can alternate for me. Busta got the material. Busta got the energy. Busta got the rhymes. Like he can be number 3 for me. Jay and Nas is just. I mean, Jay and Big is just locked for me.
Oh yeah, that's locked.
That's locked.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? So, but to each his own. I do like that y'all give AZ the love, and I think he's dope. You know, I would like to see more. You know what killed it for me? He was talking about, me and Nas should have been making albums, and I was like, yeah, I get it, but your styles is kind of similar. Let me hear something different.
I mean,
for me to put him into that.
They go together though.
They go together, exactly. They like together, man. They it's just like any other.
Ray and Ghost.
Ray and Ghost. Like, even though they different, them niggas is the same. Meth and Red, they got different styles as far as rapping. Red is more unorthodox. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But and Meth is more straight to the point. Then you got Styles and Jadakiss, which go back and forth. Then you got Steel and Tech. They both different, but they the same. They mesh well, and that's what AZ and Nas mesh well. Because as far as flow, I think AZ got a better flow than Nas. But overall, as far as artistically and coming up with concepts for songs, Nas got that.
Nas got that.
Yeah, creativity. That's what makes Nas creativity. But AZ, as far as flow, AZ can make one shit flow like he's it's like water to him. Nigga, nice. That's why I like that dude.
Yeah. Word.
While I'm at work and listening to some more. Kind of got that while I'm listening and see or whatever. But, to switch a little gear, we talking about classic albums, right? What do y'all think makes a classic album?
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
From me, beats, the artwork, the flow, the producers, beats, flow, the artistic, the covers of them joints back in the day, when you get the cassette tapes,
Nice question. The reason why I say I don't know is it's also the timing too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's also the timing too. Because a lot of people think that they would say a classic album is a perfect album. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there's always songs that I always like better than the other song. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So that might be a skip.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, you know what I'm saying? That's a skip to get to the next song because that's what you really want to hear. Nowadays, I hated that this even had to happen. Niggas be putting fucking 400 songs on one CD. Yo, even my favorite nigga, I don't want to hear 400 songs by it.
Not at one time.
No. When you start getting over the 12 song threshold, then it starts getting to be a lot to me.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot to take in.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, because then you start thinking like, why did he even, why is this song even on here? He didn't even have if he would have shortened it down to this would have been a bona fide this. You know what I'm saying? And then you had a time with niggas, with niggas used to drop EPs before they albums and then have 6 songs. Now six songs count as an album. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What is all of this about? Niggas been doing weird shit the whole time.
You know who's to blame for that. That's that Kanye. Kanye did that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. You know what I'm saying? But it worked. But somebody informed me that it don't really matter how many songs that you got, and I don't know how true it is. It doesn't really matter how many songs are on your album. It's the time. It's about the time that it plays. So I don't know.
Nah, it matters. I can say for me it matters because you give me 6
I'm talking about like to the what they consider an album, to the RIAA and the other company that
Yeah.
What certifies it as an album and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I'm gonna say classic is beats, rhyming, flow, content. I'm not too big on the artwork anymore, or even the back in the day. Yeah,
back then, yeah.
No, I'm not because nobody's buying albums anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I will also say, can I listen to it from beginning to end? If I'm skipping too much, it's not a classic.
Right.
Yeah. And I agree with that. But see, then you go into it like this. it goes like this. Then you'll have a hip hop classic. Let's say like The Sun Rises in the East, J. Rue the Damager, versus what's another one? Something that I think is a classic album. Niggas don't. Oh, this is a good one. Mike Geronimo's first joint.
Okay.
Check it out.
You know what I'm saying? It's no, I'm not saying it's a competition, but that's a when you ask any hip hop head, they'll say J. Rue is a bona fide classic. But I also say that Mike Geronimo's is a bona fide classic, and most people don't even know about that. And Mike Geronimo, the Natural, introduced Ja Rule, introduced Jay-Z, introduced DMX.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a classic right there. But most people, that shit falls by the wayside. Like, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then I gotta agree with you. It really depends on the timing too. Because at that point,
it depends on. See, me coming from that era where so much hip hop was in the streets and stuff like that growing up. I don't, like Sam said, I don't really care about the build up behind it or the sales behind it. Is this shit a classic? When I throw it in, is it gonna bang? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Like when people talk about the verses, I hate hearing motherfuckers talk about verses because they say shit like, yeah, but he got more hits. You don't even know what hits mean. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what hits mean. When you say a person says they got hits, all you saying is that white people bought that shit.
Yeah.
That's all you're saying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we're gonna do a versus and you got 20 songs and the other person got 20 songs, what does it matter if the song was a hit? Do that shit bang. Right. That's it. So when it comes to albums, I can think of a bunch of albums that's classic that didn't do, you know what I'm saying, numbers. I'm thinking Black Moon Into the Stage didn't go gold until something like 2008 or some crazy shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm,
So
And we
okay,
all know that shit came
yeah.
out. That shit came out in '93 before everything.
yeah.
Right.
But see, the thing is now in New York City, it was fire.
Yeah.
It was fire. You know what I'm saying? So I got the perfect. You got one album, one classic, your classic. What's that album?
My album. Go ahead, Sam, because I got
Man, my joke's easy, though. That's Illmatic. To me.
That's Illmatic.
That's Illmatic to me. From front to bottom to the covers and everything, man. The
All right,
content.
so
No.
that's you got one album. That's your go-to album.
Yes.
Mm,
Look, I listen to that junk weekly.
Yo, this nigga illin right now, bro. I got one go-to album.
One go-to album, classic.
That's a classic.
That's your opinion of a classic, meaning it don't even got to be a classic to nobody else but you.
Right.
Yo, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, and this is not taken away from other classics. My go-to when I want to hear some old, because it seemed like when it got to be 36 Chambers.
Oh, you so close to me. You so close to me.
36 Chambers, man. I don't niggas. I know people that be like, yo, I didn't like them Wu-Tang niggas. Yo, let me tell you something, man. I got a brother. He's 65 right now, and I remember him saying, we had a conversation. He was like, yo, man, when these niggas came out, I was like, yo, who the fuck was these niggas? He was like, yo, I was asking the same thing. Who the fuck is this nigga with this? Who the fuck are these dudes? You know what I'm saying? So when I can remember, you know, everybody talking about that shit. Like, yo, who these niggas from? Where they from? I was like, I don't know. And I remember coming back to school the next day, like niggas was like, yo, this fucking shit. Y'all heard that shit? Blah, blah. I never had a buzz like that except around the big shit, the non shit, and that shit. But my go-to shit is the 36 Chambers. Those three albums right there had so much hype around it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam is Illmatic. Yours is 36. Mine's is Iron Man.
Okay.
That's why I say it's so
Nice.
close. The only reason why I say Iron Man because it covers all of my criteria, front to back. I can listen. It might be 2 songs on there I really don't even fool with. You know what I'm saying? But the beats, lyrically, everybody came with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's that woo. It's that sound at that time. Yo, that sound is timeless right now to me.
It is that whole. I'm trying to get away from that era, and the reason why it's just like, but I can't never get away from that era because that era, especially the sound that the Wu came with. The Wu had some that shit. Like, I don't know, maybe I was too high or some shit when I was listening to it, but that shit. I don't know, man. That shit sound like that shit just feel like New York, 1993 New York that I remember.
That gritty feeling. That's all it is.
It sounds gritty. The drums sound gritty. It got static and distortion and all kind of shit in it. It just gives you a certain warmth feeling. It's the total opposite of how the Chronic sounded. The Chronic, when the Chronic came out, it was a lot of hype in it. I had it, but the Chronic, as far as being mixed and mastered, is crystal clear. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And it sounds the same with Doggy Style, another classic, but it's crystal clear. But versus when you come to the East Coast, that shit is gritty, dusty sound. It just I love that shit.
Yeah. Dang, though. Well, I'll tell you another classic album, though. Is that?
Oh, that shit is good. Big shout out to the Queen. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
They're outcasts, though. They're 18
Yeah,
aliens, though.
yeah, bro.
Man,
Better than the first one?
bro. Yeah.
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie. I like the I don't even know how do you pronounce that shit. Is it AT Aliens or Atlians or whatever fuck? I like that album better than the first one too.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That one came
Yeah.
out 96, man.
Yeah.
Wheels of Steel is my shit.
I gotta go with Aquemini. I gotta go with Aquemini.
Yo, but
That's a good album.
once again, those niggas had quality shit. You know what I'm saying? It's no denying them niggas.
Yeah. Very dope. So, fellas, you know what I'm saying? We can end this on a positive note. Let y'all say what y'all gotta say. You know what I'm saying? About to go in here and fuck up some ribs, some dirty rice.
Damn, that sounds good.
Man, listen. Happy wife, happy life, bro.
I ain't mad at you, though. I'm about to go eat me a peanut butter jelly sandwich, though.
No doubt. I mean, I think this is rolling good. You cut it already?
Nah. You ready for me to cut it? I'll cut it.
I mean, it's up to you and Sam.
You go ahead and cut it, man. Go ahead.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe to the Old Heads Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Sub up. Follow us on all forms of social media. We all are on Facebook, Instagram. Another thing, boy, that shaving, that beard joint is love. So that Samson is love. You know what I'm saying? So you need that Samson, either hit me on Facebook and I'll get you in contact with Mike, or hit Mike yourself. Because that is the CEO and owner of Samson Beard. There you go, right there. See the shirt right there.
Yeah, you know it.
And with that being said, we'll holler at y'all later.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.